Welcome back to Singer Dad Reacts. My name is Josh, and a special welcome to all of you dears out there. Thank you for your patience with me in me reacting to all of the different Bastau performances that I have targeted. So this is the final Bastau reaction. So after this, I've already got queued up Sinful Passion. That's one I know that many of you have been waiting eagerly for me to react to, so I do have that one queued up. Not sure how soon I'll get to that. It might be tonight or tomorrow, but sometime within the next 3 or 4 days at the most, you should see that reaction posted on my channel. So hopefully that excites you, and you'll be pleased with my reaction. So as far as this reaction, I'm going to be reacting to 4 different performances from the end of the Bastau concert. And first on the list is Leila, and then Jamaica, and then the Astana Waltz, and finally My Belle. So those are the ones that I'll be reacting to. With that, I did go ahead and download the lyrics for all 4 of these songs, and I have had a chance to kind of go through and read through those. I'm not going to spend the time on this reaction to go through each one of those. It's already going to be a fairly long reaction, so I'll talk about each one kind of ahead of time, a little bit, just for a few minutes here. And what I thought I would do is I thought I would just kind of bring it up and then show just like a tiny excerpt from the lyrics. So let me make this larger here. So with Leila, it's a song, he talks about my sweetest air, my love is Leila, your juice, sugar, oriental glass. And then my heart, woe to you, you are my happiest child. And then I want to read this last part real quick. The beauty of the palace, the struggle of my soul, look at me, you see, Leila. I do not know, you know, for me a sculpture, the eternal life is Leila. So that's kind of what stood out to me there. So with that, let's jump right into it. I've got, again, this is provided by Dimash Info Station, which does the English translations and also kind of groups these together for the concert. So I've been kind of going through, I did some from 5 and 6 last time. These are all from Bastau 7. So my thanks to them for putting this together. It's been very helpful. So let's get started. Come, let's sing together. That's cool. Look at this thing behind there. That's just wow. For those of you not familiar with what it takes to create effects like you see there behind, that's pretty phenomenal. That's definitely a very intense process and expensive thing to create. But this whole production, I've said it before about Bastau, but it's just amazing what they've done with the dancers and everything. Let me go back just a little bit here.
Шығысы жанары болар екенсің, қай жандысың ара
heart over and over again. So this is part of what you can really pick up on with Dimash. And it kind of gives you a sneak peek into what it's probably like to work on these shows with him, because he goes by, he just walks by, some random dancer there, smiles at her warmly, and then keeps walking. So, I mean, that's the way I kind of envision him being with all the people that he works with, whether that's the sound crew, the technicians, the lighting, the dancers, whoever that may be. I can see him being totally that way, where he's just, totally friendly and kind to them and thankful to them for all their work on the show and all that. So I just kind of noticed that in his interaction with her, and that it kind of gives you a glimpse into probably how he is with everybody. These dancers. Maybe if you could kind of, those that are knowledgeable on this, if you could kind of let me know whether some of these dances have like significance within the Kazakh culture. I'm sure they threw a lot of that in here with what this concert is and what it's all about, this kind of, proclaiming Kazakhstan type thing through Dimash. I'm just curious, like, what of the dances and things going on are kind of from those traditional dances and things like that. So the other thing I wanted to point out from what I have seen so far in this song is, and it doesn't surprise me at all, but he is very good at reaching out to the audience and interacting with the audience directly. And that's one of the things you learn as a performer, in this context at least. Musicals are a little different because you're kind of telling a story that you're not really supposed to make eye contact and interact directly with an audience member for something like that as much. But for concerts and things like this, you're representing yourself as an artist, and so you definitely should be doing that. So he looks, like he's, it's natural to him, which makes complete sense because he's just a naturally friendly, outgoing person. So it's got to be cool for all of his fans that are there, and they kind of have that interaction, that personal experience with him. Just like what you see right there. It's got a cool beat to it. Audience from upstairs, let me hear your voice. I think I saw somewhere that there's 32,000 people here. You hurt my heart over and over again and never considered me as your happiness. has this Eastern feel to it with the... Wow. Yeah, so I commented throughout, but I just wanted real quick. So that's a neat song. I did see from some of the comments when I looked into this song particularly that it's a favorite with a lot of Dimash dears. A lot of people like it, and I can see why. It has kind of a catchy rhythm and melody to it. But yeah, again, it's a fun song. It's one where you can get the crowd going. It's got some neat, dancing, and it's got some things like that going on. So, and the outfits and the costumes are, of course, awesome. So, yeah, it's a cool song. Thank you very much. So this is Jamaica. So real quick. So Jamaica seems very short, actually, to me, from what it looks like for the lyrics. But it's, I left you one day to escape your withered mouth. Today you see me coming back as a repentant soul. That face of mystical woman, those eyes of fake Madonna, that all betray and tricks. I cannot forget. Jamaica, Jamaica, under your beautiful tropical sky, I want to live and die. So it's just a kind of a patriotic song for Jamaica. So let's see how accurate my lyrics are. Jamaica! Jamaica! I love the brass. Look at this production with all these fountains and everything. Wow. Nice. This is that part I was just reading. Yeah, he does stuff like this, and we just kind of go, oh yeah, that's Dimash doing those notes, but you have to stop and just really understand what he's doing. When he's jumping all over the place within his range, he's covering so much ground. And that was one of the first comments I made actually on my SOS reaction, where it was like, he's covering a lot of ground. It's because he is. I mean, he's jumping between multiple registers, and he's coming through, as I've said in other reactions, with power in each of his registers. So if he's up in his head voice, he's usually like applying some type of mixed voice to that, where he's adding some power from his chest, and so it comes through with resonance and power, even when he's going up fairly high. And that's what he did right there. So we'll go back a little bit and I'll show you, but it's seamless. You don't hear kind of, with some singers, you've probably heard them where they're singing and then they hit their bridge, that's that break between your registers, and you hear them kind of break. It's kind of like a yodel sound, right? When you hear yodeling, there's a distinct break between the chest voice and the falsetto, right? And so it kind of has that unique feel to it that makes it sound like a yodel. So you get some semblance of that a lot of times with different vocalists when they're working through their registers. But with singers like Dimash, it's all seamless. So if you're just a person coming in that didn't understand kind of how the voice works, you'd think, oh, that's just his range. He's just singing that in his regular range. You wouldn't realize, oh, he's actually in his head voice, which is kind of like most people's falsetto, but he's just trained his voice to the point where it sounds like, his chest voice for the most part, as far as the power behind it and the resonance. So I'm just floored every time I hear him do stuff like this. So let me go back here. I just felt it was important to stop and really appreciate what he's doing. And hear that? That's different. Cool. Almost has kind of this 70s feel, you know, with kind of the kind of a disco type. He's channeling a little bit of John Travolta there or something. That's awesome. How long is he holding this out? Wow. Let me go back just real quick. There's the breath. That was around 20 seconds, just from what I counted, but he held that out. Wow. And I know in Sinful Passion there's one where he holds it out a long time. Looking forward to seeing that one. Wow. He's awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we're going to move on to Astana Waltz. So let me pull up those lyrics real quick. Joyful song of joy, smiling people greeting each other. The whole world wants to come to Astana. It's really a patriotic song from what I read here. My flourishing, lively city, may your dream come true. My majesty, my pride, my valor, my dignity, my Astana. And this is, of course, where the Bastau concert is taking place, right? Is in Astana. My flourishing, lively city, my valor, my dignity, my Astana. May your dream come true. Yeah, so it's a very patriotic song here. Now in front of you, my mentor Myra, daughter of Muhammad, my music guider Marat Aitimov, Kanat, Svetlana. His parents are there. It's awesome. Wow. That's awesome. She looks great. tone. How cool a moment is it for them, for Kanat and Svetlana, to be there with Dimash for his first concert and be able to participate in this way and be able to sing with him on the stage and celebrate his journey and this, great event that is kind of a turning point in his career and all that he's worked so hard for. I think that's just awesome. I can't imagine what they must be feeling right now as parents. I know if it was me, I would be just beaming with pride and so grateful to be on the stage with them and to be able to participate and help bring the spirit of Kazakhstan to the concert and sing to all these people, right, and to the world. So awesome. I'm glad they did this toward the end of the concert. I think it's a great idea. Let me go back just a little bit here. And I'm glad that I reacted to this song so I was able to see them do this. It's awesome. That's a cool part. He is the king, and I've mentioned this before, but this little musical phrase is a prime example of how even within phrases that he does, he goes from applying more power coming through from his voice. And some of the voice coaches that I've watched, their reactions, they call it mass, right? But all it really is you're adding more air and support, and you're kind of pushing the support out to increase the volume of the sound, basically. So with him, he backs off and has full control of that, even within phrases. So for instance, he might start with a little more power, and then he'll kind of back it off and make it a little more airy and light. And so I'll rewind this a little bit and you'll see what I'm talking about. But he's the king of that, of having full control of his vocal mechanism to be able to completely control whatever he's doing with the sound and the robustness of the sound, the breathiness, the power, whatever he wants, whatever he chooses to do within the phrasing and everything. I'll show you real quick here. Let's see. So this is carrying a little bit more power. He's still kind of, see now he's backing up. And he's bringing it forward a little bit more. Backing it off. Now he's really bringing it a lot more. But still blending pretty well with everyone else. Wow, look at that. That's cool. awesome. Thank you very much. My mentors who have been supporting me on my road of life and music have already sang in front of you. My parents as well as my grandparents are also here. Everyone please give them some applause. Also, headmaster of the National Art University of Kazakhstan. Our mother on the road of music. Please accept my sincere gratitude. And a great thank you to State Ministry of Culture. This concert is an outcome of me and my audience's hard work. Thank you so much. So this is My Bell, the final song here. So My Bell. I'm just going to read the last kind of part that kind of sums it up here. It's like a flower is my bell. Deep in my heart I shall keep you. In my joy and soaring song, there is only you. Unfurling lofty sail of love. Yeah. Oh, pure noble life, I believe you'll forever be mine. So yeah, it's some beautiful lyrics. Lovely music dripping in my heart. So, My Bell. Yeah, I would be doing that too. It looks hot in there. Look at that, wow. He knows this is the last song. He's just like, wow. Look at this girl running right there. She's like trying to touch him. Kanat's holding down the fort for you. Look at all these people. Talk about pressure to know the words. That's awesome. Wow. So that was Bastau. Yeah, I'm happy with that ending to my reaction to the Bastau concert. It felt like it was a good kind of bringing it all together. you saw his mentors, you saw his parents out there performing with him and everything. And so that was a beautiful moment there for Dimash and for Kazakhstan as well, right? So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for his country and for his people and his family, of course. And it's been a pleasure to react to this concert. This concert was amazing and phenomenal. I've heard comments from a lot of you where you're just like, this is one of the best concerts he put on so far in his career. And I believe that just from the performances that I saw. And there's still several that I didn't see. And so I may go back and do some of those later. If you have some that are part of this concert that you were like, Josh, why didn't you do this one or that one? Feel free to just put in the comments below what those songs were that I missed that you would like me to go back and do a reaction to. And I'm happy to go back at some point and do that for you. So now we're on to 2018. So as I mentioned, some of the ones that you guys have been dying for me to react to are coming. So Hello, Sinful Passion. There's several more there. So thank you for your suggestions. And I did find a link to the Sinful Passion that is without the glitch. So that's the one I'll be reacting to. Like I said, coming up here shortly. So look for that. And if you haven't already, if you could please subscribe and click the notifications button down below here, I would appreciate that. I have a lot of viewers to my reactions, but I don't have a lot of subscribers compared to the number of viewers that I have. So I would really appreciate it if you could show your support and subscribe to the channel. And I think just to kind of make sure people understand how that works, because I have had a few people comment that some may not understand how subscribing works. When you subscribe, you're not really like signing up for anything to say, oh, I'm going to contribute this or that, or you're signing up for a membership or anything like that. It's just, you're basically just subscribing to that channel to kind of say, oh, this is a channel I'm interested in. Please let me know if any new videos are posted to this channel. That's the main thing really when you subscribe. It just shows up on your subscription list, and then you're notified when new videos are posted and things like that. So just to kind of make sure you all understand how all that works. Also, real quick, a plug for my Patreon. So I did, if you haven't seen already, I put a video out on my channel that kind of describes the different tiers that I'm offering. So if you're interested in supporting the channel and kind of getting some other benefits that others are not privy to, such as having a vote in deciding what I react to, number one. And it's mostly going to be new artists is kind of what I'm going to be targeting the new reaction polls for. So I'll have a poll out there, and then you can select which new artist you want me to react to. And so that'll be one of the things that I kind of target for the new reactions and your vote. For the mezzo tier. For the forte tier, those could be other reactions, and you'll have an opportunity to vote for those, and also to see have a live stream special access to that reaction once a month. So that's more often than the quarterly reactions for the mezzo. Anyway, so take a look at that, and if you'd like to contribute to that, that would be much appreciated. Thank you all for your support, and take care.